Michele Bachmann. Now, she is talking about Reagan's tax plan. Fun for everybody. Go.
For my tax plan, I take a page out of one of my great economists that I admire, Ronald Reagan. And under my tax plan, I want to adopt the Reagan tax plan. It wrought the economic miracle of the 1980s. Why not go with what works? You can't argue with success. I want to reinstitute the Reagan tax model from the 1980s.
Now, from the 1980s, and that was the 1980s miracle, the things that happened during the 80s. Well, 7 out of those 8 years, not until the last year of the Reagan administration, the taxes were significantly higher than they are today. Significantly higher. They were up at 50%. Okay, Reagan had cut taxes for the top bracket from 70% to 50%. Okay, so they only got lower than it is today in the final year of Reagan. So obviously that didn't cause the 80s miracle in 1988 when he did it on his last year. So apparently, if she wants to recreate the 80s, we should go back to a top marginal tax rate of 50%, adding 15% to the top tax rate. Would you like to do that, Michelle? Fail.
But first of all, that's a massive fail, right? But what never ceases to amaze me is the fact that these people are running for president. You know, they're supposed to be the most intelligent and the most creative people in the United States, like the people who can actually think differently and take this country out of an economic disaster, right? She's so stupid, and she's so... I mean, how do you go on a show and say that you want Reagan tax, you want Reagan tax policies, right? Without even really knowing what those tax policies are. You're just saying it because it's something that Republicans spew out of their mouths without even understanding what it is.
But let me explain that, because they are stupid on purpose. What do I mean by that? It's not that Michele Bachmann is trying to be stupid. It's that she has been selected and given a lot of money to be that stupid. So here's how it works. They're not the best and the brightest. Unfortunately, in our broken political system, they are the ones who are most corruptible. They're the ones who are willing to take any money to do the lobbyists and the donors' bidding. So what that naturally attracts is people that aren't very bright that go, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, what do you need me to say? Oh, yeah, let's go back to Reagan. Reagan's awesome, yeah. Cut taxes, cut taxes, cut taxes. Did I win? Did I get the money? Did I get the paycheck? I did? Fantastic. So that's why they got George W. Bush, who was too dumb to figure out what was going on. Dick, what do I do? Oh, I cut taxes again? Okay. Do you remember, and not a lot of people remember this, when they went to go cut taxes on the rich again, you know that Bush, during the big conference call they had at the White House, said, hey, yeah, didn't we do this already? Isn't this going to be giving too much to the rich? And Dick Cheney said, stay on message. It's okay. Deficits don't matter. Okay, that was such a telling moment of the Bush presidency. Bush was picked not despite the fact that he was dumb, but because of the fact that he was dumb. Rick Perry barely has 2 brain cells he can rub together. The only thing he knows and he's good at is, you give me money, I give you favors.
I get it, but ultimately the American people elect these individuals, right? So, I mean, isn't that...
But look at all the propaganda and the marketing behind him. Bush, if you saw the debates, got crushed by Gore in the first time around. And that's not a theory, that's not my opinion. Those were the poll numbers. You saw the poll numbers. He got walloped. He also got killed by John Kerry in the debates. Again, look back at the poll numbers. But the media comes out and goes, it was even. Everybody's even. In fact, Gore lost because he sighed. He went, oh, God, this guy's a moron, right? Oh, no, that's it. You lost, you lost, you lost. Because they're also part of the corporate structure. They have certain incentives, and they're supposed to be neutral no matter what the facts are, right? So that gives an advantage to people who are dumb, because the media never calls them dumb. Never says, hey, this person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. But luckily, there's the Young Turks, so you can find out anyway.